Peace, y'all. Hope you're doing well. Function stacking. So quite possibly the best skill I think I've ever learned. What is function stacking? Function stacking is when you take one thing and you may have bought it or it's sold to do one specific thing. It also lends itself to be able to do a multitude of things. The more functions any tool or anything really that you can buy have, well then the more value you are now getting out of the tool or anything, which means that said thing now is that much less expensive because the value, it's only being sold for the one value in which it's being marketed as. Gardening and permaculture and things like that, we use function stacking all the time. However, seeing that I have learned this skill, I've been able to put this skill in other places in my life. So I gotta fill out these microgreen trays. Or function stacking should at least serve two purposes. The thing that it was purchased for, as well as something else. Now some things can't be function stacked, so we kind of have to leave them at that. However, a lot of things can still be used for multiple functions, you know what I mean? Kind of like these trays. These trays basically are for microgreens. However, I can easily start a multitude of any kind of green in this if I wanted to. Yeah, I just want to plant the seeds nearly as dense. So even though this thing is made for microgreens, I can use it for different types of planting. Like this scoop. The scoop is made for, I guess, really ice in a way. However, it's just a scoop, so I'm using it for soil. I believe seeing things in multiple ways, y'all, allows you to now see how good and bad kind of coexist with one another. Well, at least it's been brought to my attention through different conversations and people telling me this, is that not everybody sees things like that. A lot of times people see things only for one way. Probably like a lot of you guys, if you've never heard of this before, you're probably gonna say, oh, yo, I do this anyway. But now you could be aware that, hey, yo, this has a name and it's something that you can use in a lot of different places. And for those of you guys that have never heard about this, well then, you're very, very welcome.